So thank you everyone for joining us today on another webinar. Today we'll be talking about how automated deployment is helping to deliver custom content on top of Microsoft 365 learning pathways. And just before we get started, let me just give you a quick note. If you need to submit any questions, if you want to make any comments, please use the bubble. You will be able to submit your questions. We will try to address them at the end of the call. We will have a Q&A segment, so make sure to submit any queries you have. Also, this session is being recorded, and we will make sure to send it over at the end of the call. So let's just introduce ourselves. So I'm Beatriz Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of BindTuning, and today I have with me an amazing person, a very, very good friend, an amazing leader, female founder, visionary, Ulrika. So Ulrika, would you just like to say a couple words before we get started?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar. So my name is Ulrika Hedlund. I'm Swedish, but based in Dubai. I used to work at Microsoft for years and help customers drive end user adoption. And I'm very happy to be here today to tell our story and also talk about how we are using Automate 365 and how this has really transformed our business.
All right. Thank you. So before we get started, just a quick overview of the topics we will be addressing today. We will start by talking a little bit about employee adoption and the importance not only of adoption, but also employee training. And Ulrika will guide us through the story of Storyals. From the beginning and the concept of the company to where Storyals is today, and specifically about the Storyals Lite solution that is built on top of Microsoft 365 learning pathways, and how BindTuning's Automate 365 is helping to deliver this solution. Stand by until the end because we have a very special part where we will be talking about Storyals Free and telling you how you can start driving adoption today by using this amazing tool. So with this said, let me hand it over to Ulrika. So Ulrika, whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of us can really feel with the gentleman in this slide. Microsoft provides us with amazing tools, but sometimes it's hard to know when to use what. And if you don't know how to use these tools effectively, well, then they don't help you work smarter. They can give you information overload and help you lose focus. So it's extremely important for organizations to help end users to use these tools and to help them to really work smarter. It becomes even more important when we look at the pace of development. Before, Microsoft would launch a new version every third year, and then organizations had the ability to train their users. Now, some organizations have monthly updates. On a monthly basis, they get new things to learn. So this becomes not just a hassle for end users to learn, but also becomes a hassle for organizations. To tell you about Storyals, we have to go back in time a little bit. So I started as a systems engineer working for Microsoft about 10 years ago. And my job throughout my entire career at Microsoft has been to help Microsoft customers really get more value out of the technology that they purchase from Microsoft. My approach was always to do it through storytelling. Now, whether this was through a partner event where we invited everyone and had a theater show on stage, whether it was through national TV shows or just through meetings, it was always about focusing on the end user and the benefits that you get from the technology. Not to talk about features and functions, but really how this technology, if used effectively, really can change the way that you get things done and help you excel and work smarter. I left Microsoft and I started a company that was really based on storytelling. And I'm so amazed at how the brain works. So some of you might know this. When you see facts, or when you see charts, or when you see text on a PowerPoint, the logical part of your brain lights up. But when you hear a story, and even better, when you have the ability to paint pictures and to connect with emotions, then your entire brain lights up. And endorphins and dopamine are released in your brain, and this dopamine actually works as a save button of the brain. You remember it better. This is really behind the storytelling that we do around our content. I was contacted by a woman named Claudia. She was working for a large organization based out of Sweden, but with offices around Europe. And her task was to drive Office 365, the launch of Office 365 in her organization. But she wanted to do it in a new way. She knew that there was no way that they could get everyone together in different training rooms. She wanted a different type of training. They had started with video, and they had a video portal, and this worked really well. So this was a while back. So she was supposed to launch Office 365, and as you see, this was a while back and what it looked like then. And we started working together on an Office 365 adoption journey. We looked at all of the different things that was part of Office 365 and how we could tie that together and really focus on it from an end user perspective, not features or functions and products, but the end user outcome and the benefits that you're getting from it as an end user. So we produced videos for them, and they launched these videos as part of their internal video solution. And she was really happy because these videos were, the top viewed videos within their organization. A while later, we were contacted by another gentleman called Göran. He is the digital workplace lead for one of the largest an airline in Europe. And they were transitioning from Office 2010 to Office 365, and they needed a way to really make sure that this investment that they were doing, that it really paid off and that they could train their users. They worked with lots of different Microsoft partners to build a concept and to build the website and to how to launch this. And our part here was to provide them with the content, to bring our storytelling and our day in a life videos showing how end users can really use the tools in Office 365 to work smarter. And that was their whole kind of concept, that we make work easier. It's not about working harder. It's not about working more. It's really about taking these tools and engaging in a new modern way of working to make work easier. So they built this as part of a SharePoint site, and the videos were then included as part of, at the time, Office 365 video. One of the challenges that we had working with these customers was that, first of all, the videos, as you know, became outdated right away. As soon as Microsoft introduces something new, we need to update these videos. So we needed a way to have a better offering where we could really provide our videos as a service that was constantly updated. The other thing that we felt when we were brainstorming is that this shouldn't just be for large organizations. This should be for everyone, organizations of all sizes. Whether or not they have the money to build a SharePoint site or to customize the content and have their own executives or their own people in the videos, everyone, large or small, no matter what language you speak all over the world, should be able to have this content. And this is how the background of Storyals started. So the name Storyals actually comes from story-based tutorials. And the whole idea is to create that emotional connection with end users, to get them inspired and motivated and educate them on how to really work smarter. Because if you want to drive adoption, if you want to drive change within your organization, that's the only way to get people excited. And that's the only way if you want people to continuously want to learn more. So Storyals was born, and the service. So then the question was, how do we package this? So about a year ago, Microsoft announced Microsoft Training Services, a SharePoint site with Microsoft provisioned video training content. I was super excited when I saw this post because I thought this was the exact thing that we were looking for. If we can take Microsoft content and we can combine that with our own content and we can provide that to end users within their own Office 365 environment, this is the best solution. So we started reaching out to Microsoft and trying to get into this early adopter program for partners to understand what this solution was all about. A month or 2 months later, I traveled to Lisbon to present Storyals at one of our other partners, eLearning Force's partner webinar. And we partner with them and they include our content, and we also leverage their LMS 365 solution. So at this event, I heard a female presenter that really just spellbound me. She was talking about brand identity and how important it is for organizations to really, have their own colors, their own typography, and how it really talks about their brand and their entire business. She talked about the colors and how the emotions were connected, and I was happy to see that orange that we had randomly picked for Storyals, because I love the color, stood for friendly, cheerful, and confident. So that was, I'm glad to see that the colors resonates with what we do. Some of you might already guess that the woman that was presenting was Beatrice from BindTuning. And she talked about their solutions that they have for SharePoint, their amazing themes and templates and web parts and the technology that was behind it. And I was very fortunate to also sit beside Beatrice during this lunch and heard her story about how BindTuning got started. And I can definitely recommend that if you ever get the chance to talk to her one-on-one, ask her the story of how it got started. So I felt this is a technology and this is a solution. This is a partner. This is someone that I want to work with. So I scanned her business card, saved it in OneNote, and then we continued working with Microsoft. So we traveled to Redmond and we started working with the team, and at that point it had actually changed name. It was no longer Training Services. Now it was called Custom Learning for Office 365. Still in beta, but the solution had really taken form and shape. So we started working with the team there to understand how can we take this solution from Microsoft and how can we package it with our own content. At the same time, we needed it to be flexible because this is a SharePoint site and this is within the organization's own environment. So it still needs to be flexible so they also can add their own content. So we started adding our own content into this solution, and then came the next, challenge is that, okay, once we get it out, how do we keep it up to date? How can we make sure that our customers can get the next version when we decide to add new topics? The videos themselves are streamed, so they can automatically get video updates. That's not the problem. But the problem is, what do we do when we update this template and this package? So in December, we set up a first technical meeting with BindTuning, and I was so happy to hear Beatrice say that no problem. In addition to making your solution look beautiful, we can also help you package it and provision it and update it for your customers. And after that, started a partnership where we've been working together on really providing this solution that has really transformed our entire business model. So in May, just last month, we were at the SharePoint conference in Las Vegas, and Microsoft now changed again to Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways. You understand that it's hard to keep up with Microsoft changes. So they now announced this solution, and at the same time at this conference, BindTuning and Storyals, we launched our solution that is then using Automate 365 for deployment and provisioning. So this is the solution, Storyals Lite, and it is a pre-packaged SharePoint communication site with streamed video content that is automatically kept up to date. And I will actually switch so that you can see this solution live. So here's the site, and here is the journey. So we walk a user through various different topics of Office 365. So again, it's not about the applications and the tools, it's really about the outcome. So in this one, for instance, work smarter with documents. Users understand all about cloud-based documents and when to use OneDrive and when to use SharePoint. And through the story-based tutorials, they get to see in real life how you can work more flexible and collaborate smarter using these various different tools. At the end of each topic, we provide users with a quiz. And this is for them to be able to test their knowledge so that they can understand that, really how to use these. And when they respond to the quiz, they get a certificate. It's also a way for the organization to make sure that their users have the basic knowledge that they need to know before, for instance, launching Teams. Or launching something else. So before you launch something as a new tool within your organization, you need to make sure that your users have an understanding of how to effectively use these tools. Otherwise, they might get frustrated, and it will not lead to increased productivity. It could be the other way around. So under the quick overviews, we have short 2-minute videos that really show users, just, give them, inspiration for what these different tools are. So for instance, I can assume that a lot of you might not even know what Sway is. So Sway is an amazing solution in Office 365 to present online. So here users can just see this quick 1-minute video, 1.5-minute video, and then they can continue to learn more, get certified, and see to get more inspired and motivated. In addition, we have the Microsoft training. So this is the training that's provisioned by Microsoft and kept up to date. So here they will continuously, on a quarterly basis, also add additional content. So this goes into more detail. So say, for instance, that you have end users that want to learn more about Excel, and for instance, they want to know, how did you do a VLOOKUP formula again? I don't know about you, but even if I'm expert at these things, even I have to go back and kind of see, how those formulas work. So in this Storyals Lite SharePoint site within your own organization, you also have all of these videos. You have the flexibility of changing what is visible to your users for the Microsoft training content as well as the Storyals content. And all of that you can learn more about under About Storyals tab. So with that, as an overview and a demo of Storyals Lite, I'll hand it over to Beatrice again to talk more about Automate 365, which is this, automated deployment solution that can really help us get this out to users all over the world.
All right, so thank you so much. This is, in fact, an amazing story, as Ulrika says, and I'm really proud of this partnership and proud that together with Storyals' amazing content and BindTuning's Automate 365 powerful tool, we're really able to deploy a solution that will drive adoption in companies all around the world and will allow companies to train their employees. So I would like to just give you a quick overview on what Automate 365 is, because for all of those that are already BindTuning customers, obviously this is a new offering. We just released it last May during SharePoint North America. So Automate 365 is what we are calling a deployment as a service offering. We're introducing this concept in the market, and it really allows the deployment of solutions at scale for SharePoint, Office 365, and Teams. For existing customers, probably you were already working with our provisioning engine, and you know the power of deployment that our provisioning engine provides. But up until now, the provisioning engine was available exclusively to deploy BindTuning solutions. You would use it to deploy our themes, our web parts, to deploy our templates. What we are doing right now is we are extending the power of this deployment offering, and we are literally white labeling our provisioning engine as a service called Automate 365 to the deployment of your own solutions. It can be content scenarios, as is the case of Storyals, but we also have the ability to deploy third-party products, tools, custom scenarios that need both automated deployment, but also the capability to deploy at scale, and also the capability to guarantee lifecycle control over your scenarios. This is a fully automated process, and I would like to just guide you quickly through what we did with Storyals and what we can do with you if you have solutions and scenarios that you would like to automate. On the first stage, we need to understand what the product is all about. So there is this kickoff phase where we will talk with you. We will understand the nature of your business, the nature of the product, what problem areas you foresee, and we will evaluate the solution to be deployed. On the second stage, we will go through the packaging. And this is a stage that is almost 100% automated. So we developed an engine that is able to create the templates on an automated way. And what we do here is create an XML template that validates against the PNP provisioning schema, being that we have greatly extended the base definition. We needed to make sure that our solution is able to deploy any solution, regardless of the specificities and the specific elements that you have inside your solution. So we have worked and make a great effort to extend that definition so that we could accommodate all the different scenarios and solutions out there. Once the template is ready for testing, we will go through some cycles of deployment and testing. This means that we will work to guarantee that the final deployed solution matches 100% your scenario. This can be a very quick stage if everything is okay after the initial automated packaging. We will just test and deliver it. If necessary, we will go through as many testing stages as necessary to guarantee that we remove any smaller errors and that the final generated content matches the solution that needs to be deployed. And as soon as everything is ready and as soon as the package fits like a glove, then we are ready to go live. Being that this is not a final stage. So Automate 365 is an offering that will live along with your solution. So whenever you have new features to be deployed, whenever you have updates to your product, whenever you have features that you need, for example, to deprecate, it's simple. You just go back to us and we will create a new version of that template, of that package. We'll go through the testing cycle again and deploy a new version of the solution. And the new deployment obviously is automated to all your customers at once. This is a very, very powerful tool that will empower your business to scale. So let me just quickly give you an overview of a few of the features that are included and the benefits that are included with Automate 365. Obviously, the ability to deploy ISV solutions or custom portals. I believe that right now we're ready to deploy any solution for SharePoint, Office 365, or Teams. These solutions can also be solutions to guarantee governance on top of these platforms. This is very important and very powerful at this point. We have seen a lot of demand for governance on top of Teams that can be addressed using Automate 365. We don't only package pages or sites. We have the ability to package workflows, to package other types of definitions, so that governance can be achieved, and you can actually control the scenarios that are deployed internally in your organization. We are talking about deployment of multiple sites in one step. So if your business needs to scale, if you need to guarantee that you can operate on a large scale, you can definitely count on Automate 365 as a tool to expedite the delivery of that content to all your users in all your scenarios. We want to guarantee that whatever your requirements are, you can achieve an evergreen solution that will evolve in time, will evolve with your business and with the requirements of your market. Also, guaranteeing and ensuring that by packaging your solution, you are definitely reducing the possibility of error, because the version that is deployed reduces the possibility of any errors occurring, and it definitely takes a step over quality control. If you want to learn more about Automate 365, please go to automate365.io. We have more info there. And with this said, let me just quickly guide you through this perk that we have here today. We are just launching today a version, and we are launching along with Storyals. We are launching a version of Storyals Lite that is a preview version, and it's free. So you can start driving adoption today in your organization. So let me just quickly go to BindTuning. If you go to bindtuning.com/provisioning and you scroll down a little bit on the page, you will get to the templates section, and you will see that starting today there is a new template available, so Storyals Lite Preview. This is a free template. You only have to click. There is a download and install button. And what this will do is this will get you the executable file for you to install the provisioning engine on your computer. This is a desktop application. And once you have your desktop app, basically it's as simple as accessing the option to install business templates. You will be taken to the page where you have all the templates available, and you will see that the first and newest document on this gallery is the Storyals Lite Preview. And by clicking on it, you get to the details of Storyals Lite Preview, and you only need to click the install button. It's just a couple steps, and installation takes about 10 minutes. 10 minutes to your tenant. And let me just quickly show you what you are getting. So basically we're talking about what Ulrika just showed before. So the light version of Storyals, but as a preview version, meaning that you get a glimpse of the videos, you get a flavor what you can get on the full version, and you have several topics and videos available. Also packaged in this version, you have the additional Microsoft training offering, and if you click on that menu option, you will see that you get to the default Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways content. So here you have multiple different topics to choose from. You just select one of the topics, and you have different videos that you can also play. So this is the default content by Microsoft. So we are really, really excited about not only this partnership, but also about this offering. We're really excited about the ability to provide you a free version that you can install today to start using these tools in your company. So I would like to open up for questions. So me and Ulrika are here available to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to open up your microphone or to write on the chat window. Please feel free to reach out either to Storyals or to BindTuning. For more information on the Storyals offering, please head to storyals.com. For more information on the Automate 365 offering, please head to automate365.io. And to download Storyals Lite Preview free version, please go to bindtuning.com/provisioning. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you again in an upcoming webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much.